guys, welcome back. Today, as you can see, we're going to be doing a review of the Star Wars First Order Stormtrooper by Hot Toys. Now this is just the standard Stormtrooper. We don't have an original Stormtrooper. We've just got this one from the new Force Awakens film. And it is just the standard version, not the Stormtrooper or whatever the other versions are. So as you can see on the box, it's standard uniform to all the Star Wars boxes. It says Star Wars in this reflective writing. It's got a picture of the Stormtrooper figure. It says MMS 317, First Order Stormtrooper, 1/6 scale collectible figure. Movie masterpiece, Hot Toys. On the side just says the same. On the side the same, but this side it says Disney. And then the cast and crew on the back and the all the flagship stores and stuff like that. So, if you lift up the lid of the box, we don't have a shipper on this one, sorry about that. It's got a picture of the First Order Stormtrooper and then two more on the side. And this is Star Wars MMS 317 First Order Stormtrooper, 1/6 scale collectible figure. First Order logo sort of in the background, and you pull out this right here and you've got the Stormtrooper. So I'm going to crack into the box and we're going to have a close look at the First Order Stormtrooper. Okay guys, so here we have the Force Awakens Stormtrooper out of the packaging. Got it with all its accessories, so we're going to start with the stand. It's a nice First Order logo. As a stand, it's sort of like an acrylic. And then you have that new cradle that Hot Toys is now doing with a sort of stronger spire, I guess you call it. It's a Star Wars First Order Stormtrooper. He comes with a pair of trigger finger hands, fisted hands, a open palm hand and relaxed palm hands that are already on the figure. He also comes with a pistol blaster. He comes with a sort of bigger blaster, which I'll just try and hold this with one hand. Also flips down so we can hold it with his hands. So yeah, that's about it for the accessories. Now we're going to move on to articulation. Okay, so now we're moving on to articulation. I'm going to start with the head sculpt. Now I can't say this is a fantastic, well I can, but to me saying it sounds like it looks just like the Stormtrooper, you know, it's a bit daft because it all looks the same. And it's not ridiculously difficult, but they didn't skip out on detail. I can give them that. You can see the little grilled sections and everything on the side. And you know, they just didn't skip on the details, so that's great. So we'll start with the head's articulation. You can look down that much, so not very well. You can look up this much, so that's really good. His head moves side to side for some reason. It looks really strange, but well, it's more articulation. His head, you can spin 360 degrees. But you've got to be careful when you're spinning it, because you can't just spin it like that because it could scratch the paint. You've literally got to lift that up and then turn it in terms of paint. His arm can lift up about that much, so that's really good. But you've got to be careful with these sections here because we did take it out of the pose yesterday to get it ready for the review. And this was sort of like that because it can get stuck because it's elastic underneath there. So I'm going to try and rotate his arm without the hand popping off. You can see his arm goes up to just under about 90 degrees. His hands are on a 360 joint and it keeps popping off and it's really annoying. And they can sort of move around, yeah, forward and back, so you can get it tilting in and out, so that's great. Does he have an upper bicep swivel? No, not really. And his arm can move up about that much, but again, I'd be careful of the shoulder pads. He has no ab crunch whatsoever, which is understandable, of course. can't swivel at all. His legs can lift up about that much, but yeah, it's not great, but it is hindered by little leather sections you can see here, where these white sections are sort of stuck on. His leg can bend about that much, so only I'll probably say about 1 point at the knee. Does he have a thigh? So yes, he does. He has an upper thigh swivel, just a tiny bit, and then the feet can go up and down, and he has a great ankle pivot, and then they go side to side quite a bit. But that's it for articulation. But in terms of the suit, I really do think the suit is great. As you can see, there's little extra bits on the belt, and then this bit on the back, and the side here, it actually, with this gun, not sure about, I can't really remember which way it goes on, but there you go, yeah, like that, so you can stick the gun on, and it's put on magnetically, it's just like that, and then it's stuck on his side, so that's really great. We were trying to figure out how you actually stuck it onto the side of him, and then we realised what's Hot Choice's big secret. Magnets most of the time. But yeah, I think the suit's great. It's just like leather. It's just like a leather underbody with white plastic pieces stuck on. So that's really great. The detail is really good as well. Does it warrant it being about £200? I'll get onto that in my final verdict. But this has been articulation. Now I'm just going to show you in some poses. Okay guys, so now moving on to my final verdict. As you can see, I've got the Kylo Ren figure that I've already reviewed. Check the review of that out, with the First Order Stormtrooper. It looks really cool. We've never had them posed together like this before, but it does look really good. But obviously this is about the First Order Stormtrooper. So, my final verdict on this, I know this review's been kind of short, but there's just not a lot to really talk about. I just kind of wanted to show off the contents of the box and the accessories as I always do. But, okay, I sort of always give the same thing in my reviews. It's sort of like, I'll say, oh, well, it's pretty good. I would recommend it. With this, it's a toss-up. I think if you're a Star Wars collector, then it's a must-have because it's so iconic. It's not as iconic as the old Stormtroopers, but I actually prefer this design in a way. But if you have, say, the Kylo Ren figure, I think you're not obligated to, but you really should get a Stormtrooper because it just looks like a complete set. And as I said, if you are a massive Star Wars collector, then I think it's definitely worth it. But for the price that you pay for it, it's far from worth it. It's the same argument with the Iron Man figures. It's just plain old stuff that's just, it's the same thing, and there's no effort put into it whatsoever. It's just, plastic or metal, just a suit basically, and it just doesn't cut it for me. I do think it looks great. That's not saying it looks great, but for 200 quid, there's a lot better things that you can get, and it's nothing special, really. So what I'm going to actually start trying to do is sort of giving a rating out of 10 for these figures, because my words just don't really sum it up quite enough. So we're going to start doing that. So if I was going to rate this out of 10, I would give it a 6. And that's my final verdict. Thanks for watching, and make sure you tune in for the next video, and like, comment and subscribe. Take care.